الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونستهديه ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا إنه من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله بلغ الرسالة وأدى الأمانة ونصح الأمة وكشف الغمة وتركنا على المحجة البيضاء. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا وحبيبنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله ولتنظر نفس ما قدمت لغد واتقوا الله إن الله خبير بما تعملون. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness that there is no deity worthy of worship except Allah, the Sustainer, the Cherisher, the Creator of the heavens and the earth. And I bear witness that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is his final messenger. My dear brothers, my dear sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Dear brothers and sisters, today I want to talk to you about a very simple idea that has or can have a profound impact on who we become as human beings. It's quite simple, practical, and concrete. And we know quite well, dear brothers and sisters, that the greatest battle we engage in our lives, despite the enormity of the hardships that we face and the difficulties, that the greatest battle is indeed within us, between you and you. And the location and the space of that battle is right here in the mind. You can actually be sitting with us right here and living in an entirely different world in your mind. Not being present with us right now, you know it quite well. I'm asking right now, where are you, mentally speaking? Your mind is taking you on travel and journeys to locations and places that only you know. And that's spawning conversations within you about you. You're talking to yourself about you, despite your outward silence. And we often have internal audio recordings. You know those audio recordings that are playing all the time about you, talking to you about you, either choosing to make you feel awful about yourself or great, but they're your own conversations and they're taking place in your mind. You might be talking to another individual simultaneously. There is a recording talking to you about your past and your future. Talking to you about how limited and awful you are. Talking to you about your future and what's waiting for you. But one thing for sure is that this thought of yours and this audio recording is telling you you're not here right now. And meanwhile, dear brothers and sisters, this battle and these conversations are affecting who we are as human beings. We think they're trivial. We're in fact unconscious of them as they take place. As they take place. Nonetheless, they are devastating and limiting who you are as a human being. They're in fact preventing you from becoming the person you were always intended to become. They're limiting you and preventing you from becoming the best you that you can be. The best you that Allah has intended for you and me. Can one really say that it's because of these internal conversations? Absolutely. I'm going to share with you now a beautiful aphorism, statement of wisdom that one of our great scholars said, beautifully articulating within this statement this simple reality. That where your mind is and what it's focused on at the present moment dictates who you become as a human being. Who would have thought, dear brothers and sisters, that an idea so simple can have such a profound impact on my ability to succeed or fail, on my relationships, on my heart, on my soul, and how Allah looks at me? Sure, it's right here in the mind. So Ibn Ata'illah, the famous scholar and Imam, beautifully states in one of his aphorisms that are called Hikam Ibn Ata'illah, the wisdoms of Ibn Ata'illah, that sum up really incredible realities, incredible truths that you and I need to realize. And one of them he says, في كل نفس تمضيه لله لك فيه قدر يمضيه. That within, he says, each breath that you take. Now, who would have thought that a scholar would be talking about breaths here? Nonetheless, he's extracting these themes from the Quran and the beautiful teachings about Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that teach us incredible things about ourselves and how we can change ourselves and how we can transform ourselves, and it reduces to simple, incredible realities and truths. And it's all here within the mind. You need to learn them. I need to learn them, brothers and sisters. We need to practice them. He says, this scholar, that within each breath, or with each breath that you take, في كل نفس تمضيه, or تبديه, excuse me, that each breath that you give life to, that you breathe, that you take, each breath, within it is a divine destiny from Allah to you. Divine destiny. Now I ask you, dear brothers and sisters, how many of us have thought that my breath contains a destiny? We're going to comment on this, inshallah, later on. But this aphorism deals with the concept of time at the core of it, and where you are mentally. Indeed, dear brothers and sisters, we exist right now in time. It's 1:22. Time. It's no longer 1:22. It's past, subhanallah, and space. Right here. And as I said, despite the fact that you exist in this particular singular moment of time and space, your mind might not be here. You might not be mental. Allah transcends time and space. He's the creator of time and space. Yet He chose for our existence, for all of us human beings, to exist within this realm of time and space. Now this moment that you're in right now, that keeps escaping us, each time you take a breath, inhale and exhale, it's gone. It's no longer there. But when you take it, that particular moment is the present. Only that is the present. And it's preceded by a bunch of other, what used to be present moments, right? That are before, that we call what? Past. So the present moment is preceded by a bunch of other present moments that already occurred and existed, and they're your past. But they are ultimately moments and breaths. And this present moment that you're in right now is going to be followed by future present moments that we call future. Your future. The difficulty, dear brothers and sisters, and the tragic thing, and the reality of this battle that we have within our minds is that our whims and weaknesses take us into worlds that have nothing to do with the present. I ask you, how many of us, as we live our lives, the present moments and the present breaths, are locked up in a world of the past where you're feeling devastated and sad over what happened, and you cannot help yourself in getting or snatching yourself out of that mode? How many of us, dear brothers and sisters, are sitting miserable as they reflect upon their past errors and sins and mistakes and shortcomings and misfortunes, and their mind cannot seem to get out of that mode of thinking? I'm asking. Locked up in the past completely. You see people and the expressions of their faces indicating they're not with you. They're miserable. They're grieving. They're sad over that past. And they're spending their present breath, inhaling and exhaling, being consumed by it, torn by it. And how many of us mentally are not in that past world of ours, but in the future present moments, thinking about, oh my goodness, am I going to have what I really want? What's going to happen to me? Experiencing and feeling doubts and fears of that future. Doubts and fears of that future, that's also from the whim. It's taking you out of your present into an unrealized future, telling you you're not going to become who you think you're going to be. You're limited. You know what's going to happen to you? You're not going to have money. Job market is awful. I don't know if anybody will marry you. You have shortages all around you. Or thinking about our future, that I'm not going to be able to get to my destination until A, B, C happen. And I'm going to be sitting right now waiting for them to happen. You know, when I graduate, I'm going to do all the improvements that I need in my life because I need that degree. But the degree is not with you right now. You're working on it. But it's going to happen in the distant future. Now you're hanging your future events on that degree. Or to say, you know what? Yeah, I'm not feeling it right now. Life is really difficult. But everything is going to work out when I get married. Somehow, paradise will open its doors and I get married. So my life and my destiny hinges on finding that individual. I'm going to suspend my life meanwhile. And my mind is going to be consumed by that future event. The dream of something in the future. Most of us, dear brothers and sisters, are trapped between those two worlds. And it's ultimately an internal recording and a conversation that you speak to yourself about yourself. Talking to yourself about the past and how awful it was, or a future that has not happened yet. Meanwhile, where's the mind? Where's the heart and where's the soul? They're not here. They're not here, dear brothers and sisters. And what Ibn Ata'illah says, ultimately, is that if you're not present in this present moment, these ideas will devastate you and will limit you and will deprive you and will weaken you. Wallahi, dear brothers and sisters, most of our failures, ineptness, inability to construct healthy relationships, to make good decisions about our lives, to change, occur because of that conversation that is taking place right now in your mind. Right now. Which tells you what? You have full power over it. You have full power to change it. But it requires a conscious effort to bring yourself back into now. Now. So Ibn Ata'illah says, each breath, focus on it. You know, do you hear about these exercises that health experts teach you concerning breathing deeply? Little did I know, it actually had some wisdom behind it. I never really took it seriously before. But within our faith, it has a spiritual dimension, not just a physical dimension. Ibn Ata'illah tells you the following. He says, you see the breath that you're taking right now? Inhaling, exhaling. That is not random, nor is it an accident. It is preordained by Allah Azza wa Jalla. It's the unit of your destiny. It's no accident. Allah created it for you. It's a moment of birth. Each time you take that breath, within that breath you exist, and you only exist in that breath. Because I'm breathing right now, this breath, dear brothers and sisters, as I inhale, I'm alive. Do you feel yourself being alive? And looking at Allah saying, oh Allah, you made me exist right now. If this present moment is not here and you're not breathing that breath, that means you're dead. That means you're somewhere else. But you're here. And because you're taking that breath, you're alive, dear brothers and sisters. Ibn Ata'illah says, not only is it a breath that is preordained to you by Allah, but within it is a special destiny. Now I want to ask you, dear brothers and sisters, when we bring up the subject of destiny and fate, what do we often associate that with? Big events, don't we? Like, oh, it's my destiny, I'm going to get that career. My destiny to become the president of such and such. My destiny, to get married. Destiny, when we associate big, remarkable events in our lives, such as marriage, job, career, leading amazing projects, doing incredible undertakings, that's what we associate destiny with. Or bad things as well. Something happened, death, destiny. A major illness, destiny. That's our mind, and the trick, ultimately, of the mind, to tell you, big big events are what destiny is about. Ibn Ata'illah says no. It's not only that. Your very breath carries within it a divine destiny. Meaning that Allah has intended something behind that breath. And it's going to open the door to a big life for you. Breath? Absolutely. Divinely ordained. Divinely ordained. Sure, it's tiny. Sure, it's short. But within it is a divine gift and an opportunity. Dear brothers and sisters, how many of those breaths are we taking daily? I didn't count. Maybe some student of physiology or biology can tell you. Thousands of breaths that we take daily. Thousands of lives are opening up for you. That's what Allah Azza wa Jal ultimately wants us to know, dear brothers and sisters. And that's why Allah demands that we are thankful to Him for existing. Wallahi, dear brothers and sisters, if Allah didn't want wealth for you, didn't want good things for you, He would not have created you. You would be dust, you would be something else. but Allah chose for you to exist and has given you a certain number of breaths in your life. Each of them is divinely ordained. Each of them carries a life. Each of them opens a door for opportunities. Each of them allows you to heal. Each of them allows you to recover. Each of them allows you to change. Each of them allows you to become a different person. Each breath. Absolutely. Absolutely, dear brothers and sisters. And Allah has already ordained that destiny, but has given us the choice over what we do with that breath. Most of us, dear brothers and sisters, are not even present as we breathe it. Not even thinking about it. Not reflecting on it. You know, if you let go of those whims and desires, and allow your mind to come back, to be present right now at this present moment, according to this beautiful wisdom, your entire world will change, brothers and sisters. Your entire world will change. To the extent that you're able to be conscious of this present breath. Suddenly, dear brothers and sisters, just think about it. If I'm able to let go of those terrible conversations that take place in my mind about my past that is really holding me back, and about this distant future that is not or has not yet occurred. It doesn't exist. The past no longer exists. The future no longer is not with us. It doesn't exist. We fail to recognize this. But imagine for a moment when you recognize that the past has happened. It's in the book of Allah Azza wa Jalla. My job is to learn from my mistakes. But it was part of that destiny, part of my journey. I can no longer retrieve that past. What happened, happened. Your own mind tells you, no. Your current failures are because of that past. You might as well not try. You cannot recover. And it's beating you down. Your own mind is beating you down. But imagine if you let that go. And you say, I'm going to close the door on that. And imagine if you let go also of those dreams of the future that are not real. That are holding you back as well. Or the fears and the doubts that are created by those whims. They're not real, dear brothers and sisters. They're not real. They're fiction. And the future is not even here. But imagine if you let that go. What happens to your mind? Suddenly, dear brothers and sisters, wallahi, there is beautiful silence that happens in your mind. Silence. Suddenly, there's a moment of calmness in your mind and in your heart. Suddenly, you're here. Suddenly, you're able to be focusing on your present, on your own thoughts, on your words, on your conduct. Suddenly, you realize I have full control over my decisions right now, regardless of what happened in the past. And I'm not going to wait for the future to happen. Divine destiny. Alhamdulillah for this breath. Let me reflect on my own existence. I am here. And I'm conscious of it. Wallahi, dear brothers and sisters, throughout the Quran you see repeated mention by Allah of people who are conscious of things. Sadly speaking, most of us are not even conscious of ourselves right now. And if you're not conscious of yourself right now, dear brothers and sisters, you have nothing but failures. And your inability to make those healthy, sound decisions right at the present moment, you know what they'll lead to? Continuation of that so-called bad past. For you have let the present moment depart. You let it die. Allah's saying, I have life for you within that breath. Not just physical life. Spiritual life. It's an opportunity and a moment to change you. All you need is to look towards Allah in it. And right away you can recover. Right away, dear brothers and sisters. Just let go of that past and the present. And the door is wide open. Meanwhile, what are we doing, dear brothers and sisters? When the mind is trapped in those terrible conversations, your present breath is dying. Your present is dying. You're letting it die. And you have no chance or opportunity to change anything about yourself. By Allah, dear brothers and sisters, that simple, powerful wisdom, if someone is able to reflect on it deeply and practice it, by Allah, dear brothers and sisters, you're actually going to find out and discover the type of great person that you're always intended to be. You're going to actually find out and discover yourself to be far greater than you ever thought or imagined. As we'll illustrate, inshallah, in the second part of the khutbah, أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله العظيم لي ولكم فاستغفروه. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الخلق وسيد المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Dear brothers and sisters, my theme today has to do with, once again, a simple thought. And it's extraordinary to really realize that our lives can change instantly, by altering how we think. It doesn't take much. That the one who's defeating you and preventing you and limiting you is your own mind. And the whims that come with it. Allah's promises and reality is entirely different than what you think. Within that moment, dear brothers and sisters, and within that breath, where you're able to really reflect on it and think it's a gift from Allah, it carries a life of its own. It has this divine gift and opportunity contained within it. You have a decision to make. Each breath. But it takes a level of consciousness and a realization that you have power over it. Within that moment, dear brothers and sisters, right now, and I'm actually asking, where are you right now? Try to come here. Try to be conscious of it. Try to be thankful to Allah for that breath. Say, Alhamdulillah, despite all the things that I think I don't have, I have my breath and an opportunity to go places. Within that breath, dear brothers and sisters, you have a choice and a decision to make. And those decisions can haunt you. Or those decisions can alter your future. Because the future present moments will depend on this present moment. Within that breath, dear brothers and sisters, if we really understood the promise of Allah, within this breath that you're taking right now, and within this moment, you can look towards Allah Azza wa Jal, and His door is wide open. So despite the mind that tells you Allah's door is shut on you, Allah says, my door is open for you. All you have to do is look towards me right now. Within this breath, dear brothers and sisters, and the destiny that Allah has set for you, you have an opportunity to really receive the special mercies of Allah. In fact, His mercy is already coming down to you at this present moment. You're surrounded by it. We're just not conscious of it because we're not here. We're not thinking about all the enormous gifts that Allah bestowed upon us right at this present moment. Within this present moment, dear brothers and sisters, Allah is fully aware of you, closer to you than your awareness of yourself. Within this present moment, He's hearing you and hearing me right now. It's real. We're not conscious of it. Within this present moment, He's seeing you and me. Within this present moment, dear brothers and sisters, He's summoning us to Him right now. And He's telling you, I'm willing to erase completely your past. Just come to me clean and apologize. Say astaghfirullah. Wallahi, dear brothers and sisters, I look at the statement of astaghfirullah, I seek forgiveness from Allah, as nothing but a reflection and a manifestation of the understanding of this beautiful wisdom. Why? Because when you say astaghfirullah, what are you doing? You're actually accepting an offer from Allah who tells you, don't worry about what you've done. Come to me with a pure heart and a present consciousness. Right now. Come to me clean. Come to me willing, conscious of me, and say, oh Allah, I seek refuge in you. And I ask you for forgiveness. And Allah tells you, with that statement, sincere statement, I'm going to let go of your past. He allows you to recover and end or divorce that struggle completely. But we're choosing not to be here. We're not conscious. We're locked up in a fictitious imaginary world. Allah says otherwise, dear brothers and sisters. Within that present moment, dear brothers and sisters, this present moment, we have an opportunity to answer the call of Allah. In fact, when you hear the adhan to the salah, what does it say? Hayya ala salah. Come to life. Come to the salah. Come, not only physically, spiritually, with your mind and your heart. Come clean. Be here. That's all you have. All you have, dear brothers and sisters, is your present time. That's it. You don't have the past. Gone, non-existent. You don't have the future. You have no guarantees that you'll live to see the next moment. In fact, Allah demonstrates to us on a daily basis, each moment, that in fact life around you comes to life and dies within the moment. You know, each day, 1 million skin cells of yours die and another come to life. Which means within each moment, each breath, thousands of your skin cells are actually dying and another set of thousands are coming to life. SubhanAllah, within a fraction of a second. What's happening to our hearts and minds? Wallahi, dear brothers and sisters, we're allowing ourselves to die. And Allah Azza wa Jalla teaches us, dear brothers and sisters, as we see in the example of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that if your heart and your mind are present right now, that you're aware of your surroundings, aware of your breath, your conversations will change with people. Your relationships will change. Your relationship with Allah will change. Imagine for a moment that right now, if I let go of my past and my future, and all the bad talk that I engage in, and my heart is fully here, and conscious of my surroundings, of me existing as a servant of Allah, with the ability to make a decision. Don't I have the ability right now to smile? Right now, smile. You have that ability, dear brothers and sisters. Not a fictitious, superficial smile. You have that choice. So when we choose to be angry, it's a choice at that moment. Because of a whim. Because of a whim. Because of past experiences. You know, I'm upset with you, I'm going to be angry. I'm not going to smile. Or I'm afraid of the future, I'm not going to smile. You have that ability right now to change it. You have that ability to alter how you look at things right now. Full ability. You have the ability to say Bismillah in the name of Allah right now, and Allah can change your heart. You have the ability to turn to Allah and make dua right now, dear brothers and sisters, within your heart where no one hears you or sees you, and Allah is responding to you right now and altering your life. All available to you, dear brothers and sisters. Imagine if I'm able to live at least the majority of my present breaths in this way, where when I talk to you, I'm going to give you my heart. Fully, I'm conscious. I'm not just nodding. I'm not just nodding. I'm here with you. I'm hearing you. I'm sensing your pain. I'm giving you my heart and my affection. How will that conversation change? Wallahi, dear brothers and sisters, your relationships with your parents, your family, your friends, your current spouses or future spouses, for those who are not married, will completely change. Completely change. We fail in our relationships, brothers and sisters, because we're not even with the people that we deal with. Our minds are somewhere else. Somewhere else. Bring it here, dear brothers and sisters, and see how that conversation will change. You have total control over your feelings, over your emotions. And it all has to do with how you think right now, with this current breath. That's what Ibn Ata'illah tells us. Pay attention, reflect on that breath. Breathe deeply. You're going to find beauty within it, within the realization that you exist right now. Talk positively to the person in front of you. Feel good about yourself and say, Alhamdulillah, I'm a servant of Allah. Allah has opened the door for me. No matter what people tell me, no matter what I tell myself. How will life change if you do that, dear brothers and sisters? How will life change if we do what the Prophet ﷺ did or commanded us to do when he said, when you come to pray, come and pray as if it's your last prayer. Why did he say this? So that you become conscious of it. So that you realize when I'm going to stand right now with that breath that is about to happen, I'm answering the call of Allah right now. And I'm standing in the court of Allah. And Allah is looking at me. I'm going to declare Allahu Akbar. What does it say? God is greater. Is the heart saying it? Is the heart here? Is it conscious? Is it aware? No, it's not most of the time, dear brothers and sisters. That's why we leave the salah not having changed. Not having changed a bit. Having let those moments die completely. Yet within them were opportunities for you to come to life, to change your life completely. Only if you knew, dear brothers and sisters, what can happen to you and me when we put our hearts into what we do. When we're conscious of Allah, when we stand before Him. When we realize it's the ultimate gift. I'm standing before the Lord of the worlds. He's hearing me and seeing me and wanting to change me. Wallahi, dear brothers and sisters, a lot of Allah will come into your heart. Wallahi, He'll heal you. He'll change your mood, change your emotions, allow you to succeed. And you're going to find out and discover how great you are as a human being. You're going to be able to fulfill your potential. Wallahi, dear brothers and sisters, think of every single thing in your life. Beginning with your own journey and the things that you want to accomplish in this life, to the relationships with people around you, to ultimately the relationship with Allah. Comes down to the present moment and what you're doing with it and the decisions that you have. Those decisions are critical, dear brothers and sisters. But you know what, dear brothers and sisters? Because of all the distractions around us, and because of our own whims, we're losing right now. Our minds are not even here. Distracted. We're swimming in a sea of darkness, fumbling in it. Only if we're to know, bring yourself back. Salah teaches us this, dear brothers and sisters, to bring yourself back and answer the summons of Allah right now. And inshallah, Allah's door is open. And you're going to discover, inshallah, dear brothers and sisters, what special destiny Allah has for you within that breath. Within this moment. That's all you have, dear brothers and sisters. You don't have 3 o'clock yet. Don't think of the barbecue yet, please. You have right now. Right now, dear brothers and sisters. You have an opportunity and a decision to make. Wallahi, we're going to have now the iqamah. Call from Allah right now. In this present moment. Don't think past. Please don't think of something later on today. Think right now, what salah am I going to offer Allah in the present moment? What am I going to do with the next moment that is about to happen? That's your decision, dear brothers and sisters. Ask Allah Azza wa Jalla to make us conscious of ourselves. Ask Allah Azza wa Jalla to make us conscious of our breaths and all the gifts that He gives us. Ask Allah Azza wa Jalla that He makes us among the righteous, that He makes us among those who remember, that He makes us among those who are able to do the things that please Allah Azza wa Jalla. Ask Allah Azza wa Jalla to endow us with guidance, to grant us righteousness, to grant us good deeds in this world and in the hereafter. Ask Allah Azza wa Jalla that He makes us among those who have no remorse or regret when we ultimately meet Allah Azza wa Jalla. Ask Allah Azza wa Jalla that He makes us among the companions of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in Jannah. Allahumma ighfir lana warhamna wa'fu anna وتولى أمرنا وأحسن خلاصنا واختم بالباقيات الصالحات أعمالنا اللهم اجعلنا من الذاكرين يا الله اللهم هب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب وصل اللهم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وأقم الصلاة.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله حي